Vincent Ponte. We're going to talk about my Transworld cover. Shot by Grant. 1990, what was this?
95.
1995. All right. The story behind this wasn't even supposed to be my skate spot. This was Caine Gayle's spot. He took me here. He was like, Vinny, I'm going to skate this. I was like, all right. And he was 50-50 grinding it. And then he asked me to skate it with him. And I got lucky and got psyched. Thanks, Caine. But thank you, Grant, for shooting this photo.
And how did you learn it was on the cover?
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't realize. I was skating for Treefort at the time.
Yeah.
And Troy Morgan,
Yeah.
the owner of Treefort, now DGK, he sent me I got this in the mail with a $1,000 check. And then RP Best was the team manager for Vans at the time. They sent me and my whole family Vans. It was good times.
Because you're wearing half cabs?
I was wearing half cabs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's Caine's jersey too.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was staying with Caine and Alfonso.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So this is my slab cover from Gabe shot this photo. This is a crazy one because I was out there in San Francisco for a Transworld story, but they never made it out there. And then I called Matt Fields, who came through and was taking me to all the spots, and we just got lucky with this one.
So that was downtown San Francisco?
Downtown San Francisco, yeah. Just randoms, totally randoms. Like, didn't even think of shooting with those guys or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And who was supposed to meet you in San Francisco from Transworld?
Supposed to be Ted Newsom and Swift.
Okay.
They're supposed to come and meet me. They never did.
Speaking of Ted Newsom, one of my favorite pictures of you is in the '98 Transworld Photo Annual, where it's a super close-up of you doing a pivot fakie on an indoor mini ramp.
Yes, that was in Boston. That was at my friend's ramp in Roxbury.
So what do you remember about that?
That ramp was the best ramp ever because it was the first mini ramp that I've ever skated that was actually in someone's apartment. So it was insane, and it was always... The winters were brutal in Boston.
Yeah.
So me, Mark Anderson, everyone from Maximus, Rom would just go and just kill that fucking mini ramp.
Because that was a Ted Newsom photo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he happened to be out there?
Oh, yeah. Ted came out. Ted and I go way back.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And,
Yeah. That place
a lot of people probably don't realize it's you, but that really stood out for me. I love that photo.
Yeah, I like that photo too.
Yeah.
I like that mini ramp the best. That was so much fun. This right here. We're just randomly skating through the city, and I got lucky and just got a 50-50 on some loading dock.
So this is a French magazine. How did you run into one of their photographers?
To be honest, I have no clue. I mean, just randomly skating in the city. We got lucky. See, that was the specialty in New York. If you're skating and you had a good photographer or someone from a magazine, because we didn't have that on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it was like, but I didn't even know until I think maybe a year later.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what? That's craziness, you know what I mean?
Eric Antoine. Somehow you ran into him, and I think he was saying this is one of his first covers. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When we talk about classic covers, what magazine covers from back in the day or more recently stick out in your head? Which ones have you remembered over the years?
You know, and it's fucked up to even say it, but Salmon. I always think of his, because I see him once in a while, but I always remember him being the first one to do a switch ollie with the cast on. And on the cover, he was doing a switch ollie. What was he doing? I remember.
On the slap cover, he's doing a switch nose manny, I think, a
with
sequence.
The broken,
yeah.
That's the one I remember. I don't know why. I remember it like it was yesterday.
And where are we?
We're at Pizzanista. That's why it's so crazy. It's so funny because the reason why I bring that up is because I never skated switch. I can't skate switch. I could barely ollie up a curb switch. But Danny Supa would always be like, hey, let's just skate switch for the day. And I'm like,
what?
This shit is whack. I do it for 5 minutes and get over it. And then later, fucking Danny switched kick flipping up picnic tables, and I could barely switch ollie up a curb.
Funny.
And then I'd always be like, Solomon was the man. People don't even know.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.